Morning, Service Alliance community. How y'all doing today?
Morning, everyone.
Little slow start today. Both of us were kind of. I mean, I've already pounded out 5 miles, so I guess it's not that slow of a start for me, but it put me a little bit behind.
I'm like barely waking up as we speak, so it's slower for me, I guess.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Roll out of bed, jump on here, and
Nothing wrong with that. Morning, EJ. Morning, Dave. How y'all doing this morning? Hope you are well. We didn't get to talk too much beforehand, but our topic for today is how you handle the small things is how you're going to handle the large things. So we'll dive into that in a minute. But yeah, it's a good morning. It is a good morning to be awake. I've been doing that gratitude journal. I've shared that before. So since June 5th, I've not stopped. I've done the gratitude journal every day. It's amazing how it changes your outlook on the day just by taking a little time to be grateful. It's really, really eye-opening. So,
Adam. Morning, Adam.
She had installs yesterday, you said?
Yeah, I had a lot. It wasn't a bad install, it was just a time-consuming install. And at least my other tech is starting to get better at these installs, because there's sometimes you like get to a stopping point, and you got to run and go pick up some material and stuff. So I had to deal with that, and then came back, and I was trying to braze in the condenser, and there's a wasp nest like up the line set. They had a line set cover, and I was trying to trying to shorten the copper, so I was cutting in each little movement. Like 3 or 4 of them would come out and get pissed off and then go back up. And I was like, why is it taking me like 20 minutes to do this? Because I keep like running away because I don't want to get stung. I'm like, I'm going back to Lowe's and getting some wasp spray and get rid of them.
Yeah, it's like, what? Like, I kept a can of that in my bag when I was doing commercial because it was like, it never failed. There was wasp nest, hornet's nest, all that crap all over.
I know. I had some, and then it was just, I ran out and I didn't get it again, and so that was driving me crazy. He was getting solar at the time that we were doing, a brand new system, and we switched him over to a heat pump because of solar. So we had to run new wire, out to the condenser, which was a pain, and then while I was there on his AC, I was like, hey, your water heater's leaking. He's like, oh, no shit, it really is, And so I was like, well, we could throw that in there. So we did his water heater also. So it's just a bunch of time-consuming stuff, and I finally got back to my house at like 9:00, and I left at 6:45 in the morning to run down to the supply house to get the equipment and all that. So
Oof.
A little bit of a longer day, but
yeah, I'd say. I would say.
Fun times.
My wife got me this cup. The kid picked it out.
Take naps. There you go.
Protect, attack, take naps. My daughter's like, that's daddy. Oh boy. Well, it happens. They know me. They know me well. Dave Harrison, 4 installs tomorrow. Oof. I hope you got a crew, Dave. I hope you got a crew.
Yep, you better.
Oh man. Well, I can pray us in, and then we'll dig into it. We've already kind of started on the topic, but we'll really dive in after this. Oh, dear Father, we just thank you for this day, and we're grateful for this time. We're grateful that we get together, and that we get to take some time to slow down, to focus, to reflect, to shift our thinking, to make it intentional at this time. Father, we thank you for your provision. We thank you for the customers that come to us each day. Father, we pray that you be with each guy and girl watching today and their teams, that they would just go out and serve their communities well. Thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
So, oh boy, one man show, 4 installs. So that's going to be a long day.
Yeah, hopefully they're not all full installs.
Right.
It might be 4 condensers, hey, I could do that all day long.
Right. All right. So Proverbs 6:1 through 11. Take a lesson from the ants, you lazy bones. Learn from their ways and become wise. Though they have no prince or governor or ruler to make them work, they labor hard all summer, gathering food for the winter. But you, lazy bones, how long will you sleep? When will you wake up? A little extra sleep, a little more slumber, a little of folding in the hands to rest, then poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. Scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. So, just a little encouragement that it's okay to work hard, right? It's okay. And these little teeny tiny ants, they work hard all summer long. Not from the Bible. Again, win the day. I shared this one the other day. I don't know. Do you know of John Wooden? Have you ever heard of John Wooden?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So, a lot of this chapter is referring to John Wooden. And so he has a 7-point creed, which is be true to yourself, help others, make each day your masterpiece, which is the one we're going to focus on. Drink deeply from good books, especially the Bible. Make friendship a fine art. Build a shelter against rainy days. Pray for guidance and give thanks for your blessings every day. So where he comes in and kind of like that number 3, making each day your masterpiece, right? It's putting your best foot forward with what you have, where you are. Okay. I enjoy that there is a little bit of story that they shared. I'm trying to find that real quick, but basically his incoming freshmen, right? They're college freshmen. They come in and he's like, okay, now I'm going to show you how to tie your shoes. And he shows them how to tie their shoes. He's like, okay, now I'm going to show you how to do this. And it's just like, it was like, I don't know, folding their socks or so. I mean, it was just like, they're like, are you kidding me? Like, we're college freshmen.
That's what makes the great coaches great. It's all the little things matter, and you got to start from the basics and build up, and that's true.
And that's where he was going with that. Listen, if you can tie your shoes the right way, you can dribble a ball the right way. Like, if you can do the small thing well, you're going to do everything well. And that applies in our businesses like crazy, right?
Exactly. Businesses to technicians, a small thing is for a technician is mindset also. Don't show up to work with the wrong mindset and a bad attitude. I don't want to be doing this. I want to be home being lazy, or whatever. That makes a huge difference. You got to take the little things and make them, important, and I 100% agree, with that. Same with the business owner. There's a lot of little things, on our thing, which is set a good example. Don't do something. Don't set the example that, technicians always hate looking up and thinking that It's like, well, I'm doing all the work. He's just sitting back doing absolutely nothing. I'm not going to send my technician on something that I wouldn't do. I don't want to set that example in my business. And it's a little thing, kind of like the AC installs. You know, I don't mind doing them. I love teaching and stuff like that. But it's like, I'll be right there out there with my guys, showing them the way, working hard just as hard as they are. I'm not gonna just sit out there and point fingers and then sit in my AC truck while they're sitting there busting their butt. Like I'm gonna go and help them out, and set that example.
Well, and Phil brought this up. Never been in the military. No, I haven't, Phil. I have not. I have a great respect and I understand it. Like, and that's part of why I'm sharing this. That's week one in the military, right? So there's truth in that. I mean, like boot camp, they're literally telling you how to make your bed. Like, no, this is how you make your bed. No, this is how you tie your shoes. No, this is how you eat your food, right? Like, because it's the small things. A lot of small things done well build up to a really great thing done well, right? And it's those small little incremental stair steps that just it builds this gigantic foundation, right?
And it
And
boosts your morale too. Like if you wake up and you make your bed, you accomplished one thing already in the day, and that sets a good example for you to go and do the next thing.
that's why I feel great. Like when I get to exercise first thing in the morning, I know I'm the weirdo out there hammering out 5 miles before 5:30 in the morning. But but I feel better because I've accomplished one thing for the day. And if I do nothing else, I've done that and I've done that well, right? And so I can go through my day with my head held high. But I wanted to go back to what you were talking about with technicians, right? And sometimes as technicians and those of us who started out that way, we may have felt this way, or we may have been in a job, right, that we had this mindset of like, well, why am I doing this? Like, what's the point of this? This is the stupidest little thing in the world. Like, but how you do that little thing, how you do that job that you don't enjoy, how you do that, whatever, that task that you don't enjoy, if you do it well, when there's bigger things, when there's more important things in your mind, because everything is important, even the little stuff is important. But when the bigger things come along, you're going to do those to a level of excellence that's just mind blowing. But if you go into the small things, if you go into the menial tasks, the minor things, right, with the wrong mindset, man, when the big stuff comes, you're going to get knocked around. You're going to get knocked around.
And I can even say like a little bit of it, on this type of mindset, and it is a little thing, going back to like diagnosing something. If you have, say, a Samsung dryer that's not heating up, we all know like 95% of the time it's the heat element that's bad. Pull it apart, diagnose it, put your meter on the element to verify, because it could be the motor on the centrifugal switch, that might get you, it might be like, well, I don't see a point in pulling it apart. I already know it's the heater, like, and it might be something that you don't have that heater on truck stock, so it's like, well, let me just order it, and then I'll, be back, and then you come back and then you replace it. It's like, oh, it's not heating. That's a little thing on being lazy that you're not doing. And that is going to hurt you in the long run, having that mindset whenever you get to another type of appliance that is a harder diagnostic and you're struggling with it. And you're just like, I just give up. Let me just go and throw parts at it, because that's what a lot of technicians do. They're like, oh, I don't know. Let me just throw this part at it, and it doesn't make you as a great tech, which is what you want to be. You want to have goals. You want to become that great tech, which then eventually, you can have enough experience to open up your own business if that's something that you want to do. But
it's not just the appliance world either, because let's go to the HVAC joke. It's always the TXV.
Yeah. Hey, I had a TXV the other day.
It does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but if you don't take the time to take that extra moment, right? Because seriously, how often do you carry every TXV?
Never.
Come on.
I don't.
You're
I don't.
right.
I don't have enough space. But,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing as having to go and order the element or the motor or whatever, right? Take that extra 5 seconds and diagnose something, right? And you were beginning, and I interrupted. I apologize for that, but you were beginning to go into that, because if you can handle that kind of diagnosis, if you can handle taking that extra time, what's going to happen when you are a business owner if you decide to go that route, right?
Yeah.
You're going to take the extra time to take care of the customer.
Yeah, you're going to take the extra time to do the back end office stuff after your day? Probably not. And your business is going to fail. And that's why you have so many technicians that make that leap and they get a slap in their face very, very fast. And I've had technicians of my own that have gone and opened up their own business, and they've, one of them was like, "I'm going to open up my own business because I don't want to work as much." I can set my own schedule. I can only do 3 or 4 calls if I want to. And it's like, well, how profitable is that now? And they call me back up because we're, in good terms or whatnot. It's like, yeah, go right ahead. I'm not here to suppress any of my guys. I want to build them up. And if that's their dream and goal, go right at it. Like there's work for all of us. Some people take it as competition. Oh, you're going to be in my service area, taking calls away from me. You know what? If you have a good business, you're always going to have that volume. Don't be scared of a technician opening up their own stuff. It's just silly.
At the end of the day, though, you want to equip a technician with so many skills that they can open their own business. But they don't want to.
Yep.
That's the goal. Like, that's the dream, right? Is to equip your people so much so that they want to open or have the ability to open their own thing, but they don't want to. Unless it's their drive, because I'm not going to squash anyone's drive, anyone's dream, right? Some people really do just genuinely have that drive that they want to go and cool. How can I help you? Right? Yep. How can we make that happen? But if you have someone who's good, that's not necessarily their drive. They just think it's all about not doing more work than.
Yeah, you have some that run out, open their own gig, and they realize how hard it is and time consuming, and they come back, and it's like, that's fine. Then they realize the other side, and then they have a deeper respect for, what goes on behind the scenes. I see that Andrew, message too, on so much extra time. It is, and it's a shock. And you almost get numb to it after a while on being a business owner. That's just second nature. You're just used to all that extra work, and just it's a 7-day job. It doesn't go away. You don't get a clock out and you're done. Which is nice when you're a technician, you're an employee. It's like, I'm done. Don't got to deal with anything. Don't have to worry about anything. It's a big perk. It definitely is.
Yeah, as hard as it is, I don't think I could ever go back. Not everyone's ready for it, though. That's the difference. That's the difference. Not everyone.
So, Andrew, just think, because you've been doing it for, I think, a little bit longer than I have. Just think, some of these guys will jump out 1 or 2 years in on appliance repair. How ready do you think, how easy do you think it is for them? Because I know you have, 16 years plus of experience, Andrew? You are well equipped to make that jump. Some people, they'll just start, 1 or 2 years in and say, okay, I'm going to go open up my own business. And they're still learning on how to fix appliances at that, and then learning how to be business owners. That's a very tough jump.
Yeah, see, so Andrew and I had this conversation when he was getting ready to jump because I asked him, I said, "Are you sure, dude? Like, as a business owner, here's what it's going to take." Yeah. Like I'm like, you got to open your mind from the technician side, and not that he didn't have the experience to do it, because like I'm in his corner, man. Like I'm cheerleading the crap out of Andrew, right? Like I love watching his story. I love watching him grow. But when he first came to me, I'm like, "You sure, bro?" Because what you think it is not what it is, right? And that's what he's sharing, right? Like, so much extra time I didn't anticipate. I expected some more stuff, but it's a ton more stuff, right? Like he got smacked with just how much more it is, right? Here we go. Shy of 20 years.
Yep.
And even he says, "Holy crap, I got hit with more stuff than I expected." So the whole point of the topic that we're bringing today, like how you do the small stuff matters. Whether you're a technician or a business owner, if you can't do the small things, if you can't tie your shoes the right way, you're not going to serve a customer well. You're just not. Because you are where you are. Wherever you are, there you are. Right? Like,
yep.
You can't get away from yourself. So if you do the small things terribly, you're going to do the big things terribly. But if you do the small things well, you're going to do the big things just mind-blowingly well, right? So it's and some of that's attitude too, right? Like I think you and I chat about that quite a bit because you have a very positive mindset all the time, and I tend to be the one that has to contend against a more negative mindset. And so shifting our mindsets can change how we do the small things too, right?
Yeah. It all breaks down to your mindset in life. You know, if you have a bad look out on life, bad things are going to happen. You know, if you have a positive outlook, trust me, things will positively turn around, you know, or you'll turn those negative experiences into a positive thing.
There it is. Because the bad
it.
crap is still going to happen. The bad crap is still going to happen. But how you respond to it is going to be different. And the outcome is going to be different because of that. Right.
Yep.
And I mean, like time and time again, like you took your failed business and turned it into a very successful business.
Yeah.
It's a mindset thing.
Yeah. Same on technician side, you know. Hey, you had a bad diagnostic on one time, you learn from it and you don't do it again. You know, like the reference back to the Samsung Heat element, you know, it'd be something like that, you know, learn from it, don't keep doing it, you know. Like that's a small thing. Learn from your mistakes, you know, bring your tool bag in on all calls, no matter what. You know, it could be a water filter issue or something like that, you know. Bring your tool bag in. That's why I always tell all my technicians, like, I don't want you to run into a call and not be prepared with your tool bag. You don't know. Like, it could be replacing an LG water filter. Do you need a tool bag for it? No. But what if you get in there and for some reason you need it? You need to check the water line in the back and you got to raise the feet up. You need your channel locks. Well, now you're ill prepared. You got to waste time. Go back to your truck, get your tool bag, and bring it back in the house whenever it already should have been. Little thing, you know. But
so there was another story in there talking about, I mean, like, so Michael Jordan, right? Arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, right? Arguably.
Not really.
Well, hold on. Hold on. We'll chase that rabbit. In his contract, he had it written in his contract, whatever contract it was, it was solidly in there that he could play pickup basketball whenever, wherever, however he wanted. That's a small thing. You're like, pickup basketball. Who freaking cares? He loved the game so much that he had it written into his contract that he could play a pickup game of basketball whenever, wherever, however, and no one could stop him. No one could say another word to him because it was in his contract. That's how important the game was to him. That's what made him one of the greatest players in basketball.
Yep. And teams,
Kobe, go ahead.
I was like, and teams like back then too, you know, with their superstars and stuff like that, they have so much money riding on them. They did not want them to play that. You know, that was a huge power move. And he's like, no, this is my body. I love the game. I'm going to play it whenever. I was like, that's whenever I said, like, it's not an argument because, you know, I really didn't watch MJ play that much because I'm younger. I'm 32, but I don't
watch
think
them all the time.
I'm
from Chicago though, so
well, yeah, that is true. You know, I was a huge Kobe fan. You know, love Kobe because my dad was a Laker fan because he grew up in Southern California and all that. So I became a huge Laker fan. So I loved Kobe. I love the mindset that both MJ and Kobe have. But I don't think that there has been more of a dominant player than MJ. LeBron is great, but LeBron has been great because of longevity, not because of years and years of being so dominant in the league, you know. And I know the league is a little bit better now. It's an argument.
So here's why I said arguably, because now we're gonna go to your buddy, your favorite guy, okay, Kobe Bryant. So Alan Stein, right? He's a writer, he's a coach, and he wanted to kind of get a glimpse into Kobe Bryant, right? Kobe Bryant's leading this basketball camp, okay, for kids. And Alan Stein asked him, hey, can I come and watch you work out? Kobe's like, sure. Meet me at the gym at 4:00 in the morning. And so Alan shows up early trying to impress Kobe. Kobe's already in a full sweat. He's doing the same drills that he's teaching the campers. He's doing the same drills that he's teaching these grade school kids how to do. Kobe Bryant is doing them at 3:30 in the morning. Okay. Alan questioned Kobe about what he believed to be a very basic and very boring workout. And Kobe says, and this is what makes the greats the greats. Why do you think I'm the best in the world? I don't get bored with the basics. Boom. Why do you think I'm the best in the world? I don't get bored with the basics. That's what this entire conversation is about. How you do the small things, how you do those little minute, how you treat that customer, how you turn that screw, how you take care of your tool bag, how you answer the phone. It freaking matters.
Yep.
It matters. That's what makes you the best in the world, how you do the little stuff.
Exactly. You know, and I mean, another thing that, you know, going off of my memory, you know, on Kobe too, you know, and it's all about mindset, you know, is a normal athlete, you know, well, I'll start from what Kobe did. Kobe would wake up at like 4 in the morning and practice from like 4 to 6 and then go home, eat some breakfast, and then go back to the gym and do another 2-hour session at 9. He would get 4 workouts in a day because he started so early, kind of like you, Zach, you know, on getting your day going and being productive. And he said that the normal athlete would get 2 practices in, one in the morning, one in the evening, and he would get 4 in because he would start at 4, and he would be that much ahead of the competition. If you just stack that from one day to the next day to the next day, how much further ahead you are in your craft than your competition, you know, that it gets to a point where it doesn't matter what the competition does, they're never going to catch up to you because of that.
Yeah.
And for all the new technicians, you know, like you can wake up early in the morning, you can watch YouTube videos. I mean, there's videos or there's courses you can train and learn before and after work to make yourself a better technician. And you can grow rapidly fast in this industry. It's not, Nothing's hard. You just need the experience, of what you're doing. This field's not hard, but it takes time to learn everything. And if you put that time in before or after work, you're going to grow yourself as a technician very, very quickly, to be successful, and you'll be able to get raises and become a better tech, and in the long term, and whatever your goals are, set them and strive for greatness.
So following your train of thought and kind of what Andrew's saying here, I will outwork you every day. You know how I can say that confidently? Because I'll get my butt up early and I'll send one more message. I'll make one more phone call. I'll do one more.
Yep.
I brought it up the other day with Doug, right? Michael Phelps. He worked out one more day. He did one more lap than anyone else. Best swimmer in the world. Because he did one more. What can you do as a business owner or a technician? If you're a technician, watch one more video. Treat one more customer right. Take one more call. Take one more minute and diagnose. If you're a business owner, make one more phone call. Reach out to one more customer. Go to one more training.
Don't say no to trainings. That's a big thing. You get older and you're like, I'm a seasoned tech. Like, these training seminars are boring. I don't want to go to them. Do it. I mean, EJ just went down to MMA to learn sealed system, as he was already doing sealed systems and doing them successfully, and he still went down there to get more training. That's the one more, he's like, well, what is it going to hurt me? I might learn one more thing and it makes that class worth it,
I have leaders that, my coaches, right? In the health coaching, they outwork me. That's why they're top leaders in the company, because they do one more. And so that inspires me to do one more. They're on every training call. They're on every training video. These are people who understand the ins and the freaking outs, but they're showing up, they're taking notes. They're engaged in the process. So if you're a business owner, if you're a technician, be engaged in the process. Go to the trainings, do the things, right? Anywhere you can get that training that's good training, take it. Anywhere you can have one more conversation and learn from someone who might have a little bit different experience, because it doesn't matter if they're a newer technician than you or an older technician, if they've been around the business for 40 years. Take some time and listen.
Yep. See, there's this one that Rob just just messaged, because most are boring. That is true,
This is coming from a Samsung trainer, by the way.
Yeah. But they are boring, but as a business owner, you can network. You're going to have technicians that are in your area that might benefit you down the road, because, hey, that technician might not like where they're working, and you might come across and become friends, and they may benefit your company in the future. Never know.
Rob's so humble.
Not mine. See, he learned from the little things. He realized that they're boring, and he had to turn them up.
Well, I mean, I love Rick Kuman. I don't know if you've ever been to an MSA training, but I love Rick Kuman. Yep. That guy is a beast. He's forgotten more about appliance repair than any of us will ever learn. I mean, it's just stupid how much knowledge that guy has, right? I learn something every time I go to one of his classes. Every time. And yes, some of it is boring because the manufacturers are like, well, you got to teach this. And he'll even go, I have to tell you this because the manufacturers are telling me to tell you this. Here's the deal. Right? Like, and then he breaks it down. And so again, it comes back to mindset. What mindset are you going in with? Every time I go to an MSA training, Joe Maida would be there. And we would sit there and we would have conversation. And, you know, like Joe's been around the business a long time. Joe, too, has forgotten more than I'll probably ever learn. Right? I always got something from talking to Joe and his brother. They're good guys. So networking in that respect, you can learn a lot too, whether it's from the trainers or it's from other business owners, it's other technicians. You can learn a ton if your mind is open to learn.
Yeah. And the trainings don't come around. It's not like they have one every month, you know, like they're here and there, you know, take them. You know, even one thing that I would say that would be good too is even though you're an appliance technician, you know, there is a lot of, if you go to HVAC supply houses, they will have trainings a lot. Every month, you'll get an email on over, and some of them are just great to take, even if you're not an HVAC. You know, they're just good business classes, you know, and some of them are online and everything. You know, that's just an online seminar. Um, that will better yourself, you know, and take them. You know, there's going to be classes on refrigeration. Say you're wanting to get into, you know, sealed system and appliance repair. None better to look at than, you know, an HVAC company, you know, doing seminars on refrigeration. You know, like
It's awesome. I love those supply house trainings. Like I learned so much in what didn't seem like it applied to an appliance repair side. I learned a ton just by going to those HVAC trainings, right? And then I was able to do some more commercial size refrigeration because I had picked up some of the skills. And if you're in our community and you're watching and you are HVAC, go to appliance repair training. Someone will get you in and go learn something else. Go, you know, let me go back to this. Most are boring, but a good technician, a good business owner, I'll stretch to that because business owners should be doing other types of training too. They're going to challenge themselves to find some value.
yeah.
There's a coach called Coach Bert, right? And he is a business coach, like just straight teaches business. I get something out of every training. Some of his stuff is rah rah and BS, and it's just the same crap speech over and over again, trying to get you to, you know, buy his next course. Not that there's not value in it, but, you know, we all know that type of sales. But I always get something out of his trainings. There's always a little bit of nugget because I take this approach. I challenge myself to find some value in what's being shared by others. Shift your mindset. Do the small things well. It matters. It does matter.
100%.
So we are not doing hot seat. If you missed it, Thursday. We're doing it this coming Tuesday. We have we're gonna have supply houses. We have Saul from Marcone. We have Reggie from Encompass lined up. It'll be Tuesday night at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. We're working on getting Sunberg, and we're working on getting Union Electronics. I have phone calls out to both of them. So we'll have part suppliers chatting with them about just some industry things, some patterns that we're seeing in the industry. So I just want to share that today, let you know that that is coming up on Tuesday. Hot seat is coming back. We're changing the date. It'll be on Tuesdays once a month now. We're a week behind, but that's because of the date change. So
UE would be a good one to have on. They're pushing real hard on trying to get, you know, new accounts set up on new appliance companies. And I think you probably answer your questions there.
Mike Carson and I are going to try and head on over and get some behind the scenes with them because they're actually just about 45 minutes away from where I'm at. So their main distribution is in Beecher, Illinois, which is not far from me. And then, like I said, we're trying to get Sunberg, whose main distribution is in Chicago. So again, 45 minutes away from me. So we're trying to get some varied experience and part houses. And, I believe in never putting all your eggs in one basket. So that's my personal opinion, but
especially this day and age where you can't find parts sometimes and you're having to do nationwide searches. Like it's, it's good. Hey, if one part house has it, I don't care who it is, like it's better than a back ordered, item. So all these extra part houses, log them down, like they may become useful.
I see a lot of newer techs, know-it-alls who usually never make it or struggle every day. You need to learn something new every day. Stay humble, admit your mistakes, and do it different next time. Yeah, the great leaders, the great technicians, the great business owners, they stay humble. They admit the mistakes. They learn from it, and they do it better next time. Faux show. Yeah, Chicagoland, that's because none of us want to be tied to Chicago proper. So we just say we're in Chicagoland because it's just easier to say that, like we're somewhere in the realm of that crapple. I don't like laying claim to Chicago, but it's the only thing anyone knows. So
it's so big.
I say Joliet or Beecher or Frankfurt or, everyone's like, what? Huh? What?
Where's that at?
Yeah, Chicagoland. We're in that envelope of scum and villainy.
High taxes.
Yeah.
What are all the bad things about Illinois?
Well, basically the same things as Colorado, my friend, from what I hear. We're all kind of batting 1,000 there.
I know. We are. Our weather's just better than yours.
Well, that's true. And you got a lot it's a lot prettier, the mountains. We do one of our travel goals is going to the Denver area. We want to go to Pikes Peak and do the things out there. My daughter's really excited about doing that. So
yeah, when you're here, I'll do it too. What is it, Manateo Peak or whatever? That's in the Springs. On that.
Oh man, I love Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs is really pretty too. Like that's some of my favorite. But come on, you got to do the Cog Railway on Pikes Peak because it's like a big stupid mountain.
Yeah. My wife, we've been going to the Springs a lot more because there's a Great Wolf Lodge, and right next to that is a Whataburger. So of course, us being from Texas, of course, my wife misses that. So she's like, any excuse to go to the Springs, I'm down. It's give me a day and I can get some old home food.
That's awesome. Dave Oliva is trying to get together a mountain climbing thing with the Service Alliance group. So he keeps needling me like, dude, we got to get a group together and just go do some backpacking through the mountains and whatever. I'm like, well, we'll figure out how to make that happen because that sounds like a lot of fun. So Springs, nice. Well, it's been fun chatting, man. I always enjoy our conversations in the morning. It peps me up. You're just such a positive person that I end up, even if I come in the morning like a crab, I end up walking away in a good mood. So Scotsman or Manitowoc training.
I have not, I would like to do, Scotsman to Manitowoc, there's not that much difference, but I would like to do a Manitowoc or a Hoshi training, which is Hashasaki.
I like Manitowoc. I'd like to do some of their training because it's just the way their machines are set up is how almost all of them are set up. There's not a whole ton of difference,
Yeah, and the one nice thing about Manitowoc or even Hashasaki, is there's tech lines. So if you don't like, everything is so simple on those units, you just have to put them in test mode. And sometimes you just have to change some dip switches around and stuff like that. I had one that wasn't going through harvest long enough, so it wasn't dropping the cubes, and then I'd redo a free cycle and the whole plate would be completely frozen. Call it tech support, like, oh yeah, switch this dip switch to this, and I was like, done. It's like it makes it nice. And that's, maybe we've gone on this tangent too on appliance repair, but that's how appliance repair should be. It doesn't matter if you're a dealer or not. You should be able to call a tech line, and something so simple can be done very
That's why I
quickly.
like True. That's why I like True
Yep.
Refrigeration, because they don't give a crap. They'll, as long as you're an authorized company, like as long as you have an actual business license, they'll, yeah, sure, you can do warranty work for us. We'll send you the parts and send us what your labor rate is, and we'll pay it and get the customer taken care of. Anyway. We'll start digressing too far if we continued on that path.
I know that could be for next week. We'll tangents there.
We'll bring that back up next week. We'll unbury that one.
We're not gonna drop it though until the industry can change. So
it's true. It's true.
We will, as loud as we can, until proper changes are made.
Well, I mean, for almost 2 years, I've been railing on that. So what's another 2 years?
We'll get bigger and bigger and bigger as a community, and we can maybe be heard, and
keep rattling the cage.
It's thanks to everyone that's watching this, or even not even watching it live. We appreciate it a lot.
Yep. You guys make it possible. Community makes it possible for sure. All right, guys. Well, you have a good day. Tomorrow's Freestyle Friday. Tune in for EJ and TK, and I'm not sure who their guest is tomorrow, but tune in. It's always interesting. Have a good day.
Things matter. Bye, guys.